Welcome to Tromaville. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Welcome everybody to Harmless Phosphorescence, the podcast where we watch every superhero movie ever made in the order they were made. All live action, theatrically released full-length features. This week, we're going to be watching another one. My name is Thoreau, and I am really stressed out, Slug.
I'm Josh Cicci, and I want you to listen to my body talk.
I'm Brian Lesh, and I'm just another ordinary citizen of Tromaville trying to live a normal, happy life.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I'm not just another pretty face.
You are, Al. We are, this week, heading all the way back to May of 1984. The exact date, I can't tell you, because nobody really seems to know. But because this was the very first Splatterfest from Troma Entertainment, The Toxic Avenger. Mm-hmm. Released at some point in May 1984 to a theater in New York. It later got a longer run, of course, but running at 79 minutes, it cost $500,000 and
whoa,
that much?
Yeah, and made $800,000 in theaters.
Right, box office sales. Yeah.
Let's take a listen to the trailer.
Meet little Melvin. He's a 90-pound weakling. Everyone hated Melvin.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this mop and shove it down your throat.
They teased him.
I wanna do it with you. Okay.
They taunted him. They tormented him until he had a horrifying accident and fell into a vat of nuclear waste. Transforming little Melvin into a hideously deformed creature of superhuman size and strength. Melvin became the Toxic Avenger. The first superhero born out of nuclear waste. Yes, the muggers and the rapists didn't know what law and order was until the Toxic Avenger came to town.
Holy shit! I don't know what it was, but it saved my life. All right, everybody, drop your tacos or I'll blow your brains out.
The vandals and the perverts had their way with the little people of Tromaville until the Toxic Avenger ripped them apart. The Toxic Avenger. His face is so terrifying. We can't show it to you now. You'll have to see the movie for yourself. The Toxic Avenger can bend steel with his bare hands.
Oh, we're on a kid. Get it?
Leap small cars in a single bound. He crushes drug pushers. Smashes hit-and-run drivers. And gives all criminals their just desserts. The Toxic Avenger.
He was a hero.
He's a hero.
Wow.
He's a fighter. He's a lover.
Well, Melvin, you're beautiful.
The good citizens love him. The fat and corrupt hate him.
Kill that bastard for me. You gotta kill him.
Yeah.
Will he survive? For incredible, explosive action, you must see the Toxic Avenger. He's a different kind of hero. The Toxic Avenger is coming to your town. Look out.
The Toxic Avenger.
They couldn't even show his face. I found his face one of the more charming things about the movie.
They had to say the Toxic Avenger so many times in that trailer because they didn't say it once
in the movie.
Yeah.
I was just
Right at the end.
Really?
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who says it though?
The narrator.
Oh,
okay,
okay. Well,
Yeah, right at the end.
all right. Yeah. So the Toxic Avenger.
Can we just start off with an explicit content warning that just even us talking about this is going to get really gross?
Oh yeah. No, it's very explicit. I mean, we curse on pretty much every episode, but this time it's really bad.
Yeah.
Um,
this one-
Yeah,
It's
really
different.
bad. And I have a personal disclaimer. When I say something is awesome in this, like an effect or an actor, I'm saying it in a relative sense, not in an ironic way.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
so for in this little cosmos, yeah.
So yeah, the Toxic Avenger generated a media franchise, including 3 film sequels, a stage musical production, a video game, and a children's TV cartoon.
Children's TV
I
cartoon.
remember that
So do
cartoon.
I.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
short-lived, but the Toxic Crusaders.
Yep.
2 less successful sequels, The Toxic Avenger Part 2 and Toxic Avenger Part 3, The Last Temptation of Toxie, were filmed as one. You know, like the Matrix sequels. Or-
you will
or The
hear
Lord of the
those
Rings.
here soon. Also,
Yeah.
we're doing them next.
We will, well, not
Not
next,
next.
but we'll do them.
but soon.
Yeah, at some point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Director Lloyd Kaufman realized he shot far too much footage for one film and re-edited it into 2.
An epic.
So much for it. He's like, I had $500,000 to spend.
The Odyssey.
I'm not wasting a frame.
Not a-
Melvin.
Keep it rolling.
The TV series spin-off Toxic Crusaders featured Toxie as leader of a team of mutated superheroes who fought against evil alien polluters.
What was that lineup? Does anybody know the lineup on that?
Ooh,
I don't remember that show.
No,
I did not
I
look
don't-
into
didn't look
this.
I don't know if you have like the Toxic Avenger, the radioactive rancher. I don't know. How would you fill a cast of dirty, smelly superheroes?
Well, I think there were a lot of mutated heroes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. The Toxic
like-
Crusaders.
Toxic Crusade.
Let's see. There was Bump Ass.
Oh, of course, Bump Ass
This wasn't the cartoon, right?
This was the cartoon. Yeah.
for children.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Was this also a trauma production?
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Really?
Characters. Okay, so No Zone, Major Disaster, Headbanger, Junkyard, and then the villains: Tsar Zosta, Dr. Killamoff, Psycho, Bonehead, Mayor Max Grody.
Max
Did you
Grody.
get your Mayor Max Grody action figure yet?
Paludo,
Paludo.
Paluticorn.
General Garbage,
General Garbage.
and the Radiation Rangers.
Did I say Radiation Ranger? No, I said Rancher.
And there was also Toxie's pet Blobby, which was a blobagoo. His girlfriend Yvonne.
Okay.
Was
He's
also
still
a blob
dating.
of
He's
goo.
able to date,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Toxie's mother, Mrs. Junko.
I thought I remembered his girlfriend in the cartoon being blind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Lloyd,
may or may not be true.
Lloyd, Snail Man, Mower Man.
There was just a Lloyd.
Man.
Lloyd, yeah, just Lloyd.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So what you're saying is it's probably better than this movie.
Yeah, probably.
Lots of trash characters.
They announced this year they're going to reboot the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz of Troma Entertainment will produce. Macon Blair will write and direct.
The Macon Blair?
Right.
Oh man.
Um,
Add it to the list.
it'll get on there.
All right. Well, so that's interesting because this movie, there's certainly no deniers, climate change deniers in this. There is toxic waste. It can mutate you and hurt you. And so I wonder how they're going to pull that off in 2019, where we're back to, I don't even know if that's a thing. Pollution.
Pollution, does that exist?
I mean, this movie had like the cops as Nazis. I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty heavy-handed.
Oh, I'm
if they're
sure.
making a remake.
Yeah.
Look, I made a disclaimer in the front of it.
Yeah. Not saying that it'd be heavy-handed
Oh, I'm
know.
sure.
in any different way. But
yeah,
we're pretty on the nose.
It's gonna be interesting
Yeah.
to see where that
Yeah.
lands. So, Toxic Avenger is known as the film that built the House of Troma. It was their first horror gore production. Previously, the company focused on lighthearted sex comedies.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, right.
Cry Uncle, Squeeze Play,
Cry Uncle.
the Battle of Love's Return, Mother's Day, Border Cop, Waitress with an exclamation point,
Yeah, wow.
Ferocious Female Freedom Fighters, Stuck on You, which I have to assume is about Siamese twins.
Which also had an
Matt
exclamation
Damon
point.
and Greg
Yes.
Kinnear.
The First Turn On with an exclamation
Oh,
point.
the first one.
Yes.
And
Wow, there's a
Dreams
lot of
Come
yelling.
Is Trauma's name from like
Trauma.
trauma come
Trauma.
from trauma?
I think so.
Or is it like is there something else that I'm missing? Because that's
Actually,
all
I
I
don't
can
know.
I'm
think.
not sure.
I don't know.
We're just here to traumatize you.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Don't sue us.
I mean,
Did you have
They did.
did you have Queefer
Right.
Madness on your list?
I did not. Was that pre?
I don't know if that was
that
Trauma,
make it
but
to
that
theaters?
was definitely
Queefer Madness.
Kaufman. Queefer Madness. Yeah,
Nice.
Kaufman
Okay.
directed that.
Yeah. He also let's see. He did a
I have to look into that.
he did some straight porn in the 70s.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't?
Right. Everyone.
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
Even
That's
Richard
what I
Donner,
assume, you know?
Richard Donner, and Richard
Well, not
Lester.
everybody
Even.
did straight porn.
So Kaufman and Mers,
Yes.
they met at Yale.
Oh,
They were both
Yaleys.
They were both going to Yale. Kaufman was majoring in Chinese studies, and he actually had intended to become a social worker and spend a year in Chad with USAID.
Wow.
Mers, I didn't catch his major, but he went on to study law at NYU. Doesn't say whether he graduated there because he ended up working in screenwriting, screen producing.
Oh, cool.
Their first work together was on Sugar Cookies, a softcore lesbian crime thriller in 1973, written and produced by Kaufman. Merce was on the production team, and one of the associate producers was Oliver Stone, a former classmate at Yale.
Dun dun dun.
Was
It's a
just
conspiracy with
just
Oliver Stone.
real quick, Al. Is it Michael Hers?
Is it hers or Mers?
It's Hers. I
Hers.
believe. Herz.
Okay.
Might actually be Hertz. I don't know, but Hers. I believe it's an H.
It just hurts. that
Yes. Yes.
He went to Yale.
I had written an M and then I tried
Then
to
just
scribble an H
skull
over it.
and
You're
bone.
right.
But yeah, he did, and he was Kaufman was worked on Rocky and Saturday Night Fever.
Wow.
Huh.
Not exactly a lightweight, pun intended.
Well, as a location scout.
Oh,
dun, dun, dun.
As a producer for the final countdown.
they just
Oh,
sent him out before the movie is made. They're like, you can't be around while we're making the movie, dude. Sorry. Great location though.
He's like, will you put this trailer in front of Rocky?
Yeah, and briefly, Kaufman worked for Cannon Films.
Oh yeah, Cannon was.
Cannon was something.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
Ooh. I did. Yeah, we didn't have to.
Like Chuck Norris wouldn't be a thing
no.
without Cannon.
And you know what?
Pictures.
Yeah, that's its own podcast. Canon is something else.
Yeah.
Kaufman, he did a lot of directing for Troma, Class of Nukem High, Sergeant Kabuki Man, NYPD, Tromeo and Juliet, Tales from the Crapper, Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead. Those are just some notable titles that I liked. He was a producer on Dialing for Dingbats, Blondes Have More Guns, Sucker the Vampire, Teen Ape versus the Nazi Monster Apocalypse.
Wow.
These are all Kaufman films?
Yes, those were productions.
Yeah.
That last list.
Yeah. Pretty standard trauma kind of stuff there.
Right.
Yeah.
He has 330 acting credits on IMDb.
Woo!
So he's appeared in a lot of movies, including Rocky as a drunk. The Final Countdown says something. He was a doctor in Orgasmo.
Oh wow, that'll be fun.
He was a 911 man in Super. He was a prisoner in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
brief
because
cameo.
James Gunn,
Right.
the writer-director of the Guardians of the Galaxy films, worked for Troma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Lloyd is sort of a mentor.
Troma
To him.
picked up a lot of movies for distribution. One of my favorites being Cannibal the Musical.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love Cannibal the
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah, Cannibal the Musical by
Troy Parker and
Matt Stone.
Matt Stone. Yeah.
Spadoinkle.
Spadoinkle. Okay, so this starred Mitch Cohen, who really is only known for the Toxic Avenger and a small appearance in Clerks.
Okay, so it starred him, but who else played this character? Because there were a lot of people involved in like voice and
Right.
body.
Right.
Mark Torgel was Melvin Junko
Mhm.
pre.
It's Mop Boy.
Oh wait, it was Melvin Ferd.
Yeah.
They changed it to Junko later, I think.
Yeah.
Ferd
but-
was too controversial
Yeah,
for
something
these
like
guys.
that.
And the
Um,
later transformation was there was like a body man.
The body man was
different.
Mitch Cohen.
That was Mitch,
Mitch
Cohen.
Cohen.
The voice.
I would have switched those names. Like that. Melvin looks like Mitch Cohen. And what's the other guy? Tolvar?
Mark Torgel.
Torgel.
Well,
Kenneth Kessler was the
Kessler.
voice.
Okay.
The voiceover.
he did all the trauma trailer voices. That's so weird.
Yes. And then Pat Ryan Jr. as the mayor, Mayor Belgoody. He was also starred in Fighting Back, Birdie, Invasion USA, Class of Nukem High, Street Trash, Mannequin, Eat and Run, and Forever Lulu.
All right. So he actually had some credits.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of them are like construction worker, pizzeria manager.
Yeah, of course.
Although in Forever Lulu, he was credited as Fat Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. Troma, they're known for their schlock. That's their thing. Bloody, gory, insane schlock.
Right.
Campy,
Campy,
Yeah.
very campy. Yeah,
poorly acted.
poorly acted, tongue in cheek.
Nudity.
Yeah, can't be. Yeah, there's like nobody's under the impression they're making a good movie. You know?
not them, not
It's-
anyone.
yeah. So that message is very clear. Yeah, it is gratuitous for its own sake.
So
Just
that's
to be weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
That said, we ready to jump in here?
We don't have a
Into the
we don't
barrel?
have a Siskel and Ebert review.
No,
Oh,
this-
shit.
I
Have they
looked-
ever
Toxic
talked about
I
it?
looked. I could not find anything. They
Right
did.
on.
They did a brief thing about what they called nasties, video nasties,
Okay, all right.
wherein they discussed the trend of horror and splatterfest things
Yeah.
that kids would watch when their parents went to sleep at like sleepovers and
Right,
stuff, and
yeah.
how horrible it was and how it's ruining the nation's youth was their position.
Far out.
Video nasty
Because, you know, Roger Ebert, early on, he worked with Russ Myers a lot. Russ Myers, he did
Oh,
all
yeah.
Faster Pussycat Kill,
Yeah,
Kill.
yeah.
You know, just the big boob. You know, like these kind of movies, but 50s. you
yeah,
know
no,
what I
but
mean?
he came out
Oh, and
strong
didn't Ebert
against.
write what?
He
The
wrote
Dollhouse?
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls, yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. He got his start in this kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the 60s version of it. But
I could see everyone at the Siskel and Ebert show going, we're not going to talk about it. I don't care how much you liked it.
right. So yeah, they completely ignored I couldn't find. I don't think they did any of the Toxic Avenger movies. Yeah, let's jump on in here, guys. This is the Toxic Avenger. We open with a warning and a voiceover explaining that nearby Tromaville, nearby to New York City, is the toxic waste capital of the world. We're introduced to Melvin Ferd through voiceover. Stereotypical 98-pound weakling.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's him. I know that's a lame question. The narrator is Toxie.
I mean,
the
yeah,
voice, the
he's
later
one,
Toxic.
Yeah, the same one.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, narrator was also Toxie's voice.
All right. That makes sense.
Most of the time.
Right.
Not always.
Not always.
I hate that they refer to him as Toxie. It's such a weird name.
All right.
But let's do it.
Melvin's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't in the movie.
They
at
don't
all.
in the movie.
No.
They do in
Yeah.
later movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I looked it up to
Just in the
rent,
culture, they call him that. That's just
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah.
Reading
Right.
about it, researching.
Toxie.
Like, ugh.
I watched Britney Spears videos for like
Yeah.
20 minutes. I'm
Palate
like, I need to
cleanser.
refine my search.
That was his theme song, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's the jam.
It is. Wait.
Oh my God.
Let's jump on it.
I'm gonna look on Apple Music and see if that soundtrack is available.
All right. So, we're introduced to Melvin Ferd, a typical 98-pound weakling who works as a janitor at a health club in Tromaville. There's a nice I use that term loosely, club montage of exercise, TNA, naked mayor rubbings.
It was really well choreographed.
Implied cocaine use.
The
Implied all.
Yeah.
those two guys in the banana hammocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the magazine. Everybody works out with the magazine in their hand.
And cigarettes.
The amount of smoking while working out.
Because it was good for you. Electrolytes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
shit.
There's
Yeah, back
electrolytes and cigarettes. I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
It inflames your T-zone.
So if you're at this
gluten-free.
health club, you're either working out or making out.
Or
There's a lot of making out going
Yes,
on.
a lot of making
Or
out.
doing cocaine in the bathroom.
Drugs.
Just out of view of the
it's
cameras.
basically orgy town, USA.
Yeah. But the camera moves around a lot. And, like I said, it's choreographed. I don't know.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
opening
Yeah,
shot.
I had no idea about things to come. So I'm like, well, this isn't so bad.
It's nuts. This is fine.
There's that one guy that looked and sounded like Larry Fine. He
Oh.
was on the exercise machine, and Bozo throws him off the machine. So
Oh,
he can
yeah,
work
that's
on it.
right.
Yeah, Bozo.
Okay, yeah. So there's some exercise, TNA, shenanigans, and Melvin being bullied while he tries to clean.
Yeah.
All to the soundtrack of Body Talk. Body
Yes.
Talk. I love the sound of your body talk.
Okay, so and I looked it up. Olivia Newton-John's Physical had come out it came out before this.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's going to be others, but this is our first nod to another movie. Body Talks and all the.
Which Body Talk was it? Because there's like 5 songs called Body Talk. From the 80s.
Oh, really? Oh, from the 80s. They went on this soundtrack.
Just from the 80s.
Serena something. Hang on. I'm sorry, Sandy Farina.
Oh,
Sandy. I
yeah.
hate it when my Farina is Sandy.
Why are you eating your cat food? Oh, wait.
I like mine more Dennis Farina.
So yeah. Yeah. Wait, here.
Whoa.
Oh, it's just the end.
Oh, dope, though, because it's got the song.
Yeah. If you guys could see us right now.
Yep.
I did take a moment last night and learn how to play this on the guitar.
Yes.
I know the chords. There's a bridge that I didn't
Quite master or
make
figure
it
out.
to,
Yeah.
but the verse and the chorus, I got down.
Nice.
It's a beautiful song, folks.
It really
about it.
is.
It's the
listen
best
to
part of the movie. Like, can we just do this whole podcast about this song and not talk about?
Body Talk.
I've been singing this in my head for
Yeah.
two or
It's
three
been
days.
so stuck in my head.
Sandy Farina.
Talk.
All right. Bye.
It's,
Okay.
Yeah. I want to-
Well, what's funny also, and I think it's when they introduce, the bad guys and their girlfriends, but like I'm watching it and I'm like, this is made in 1984, but it somehow feels like they're being ironically 80s.
Right.
Yeah.
I was
really
like,
did.
how do they
Yeah.
even know how stupid they are?
Yeah, no, it was like a parody of like that 80s bully guy.
Right. Yeah. They look the way the actresses on Glow, that Netflix show about the female
Yeah.
wrestlers. Yeah.
Um,
But they're actually in 1984. They don't know that's. Yeah. Anyway.
they don't know it's weird yet. Bozo, Slug, Wanda, and Julie are in the hot tub when Melvin accidentally puts the mop in the tub.
Melvin loves mopping, and Bozo hates him for it.
Yes.
Hates him.
Melvin is also terrible at mopping.
He's
Yeah,
not,
he
He
is.
is.
but he's
admittedly.
okay. So he's clearly disabled. Like he's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yes.
He's on the spectrum.
He wrote,
Oh, yeah.
not to like poke, but he seems like he's like shell shocked, like World War I style, like PTSD, like he just like
Like
it's
he's seen some shit.
Yeah.
incredibly like jumpy at the
Well,
sound of anything.
when you're working around these assholes, I
True.
mean, my
Well,
God.
And before this, doesn't Bozo say something about his karma? Like that's, he's stressed out. He says that later, but
Yeah.
does he say like,
Yeah,
got to get my karma up or something?
After
Yeah.
the mop gets dunked into the hot tub, and they all jump out and bully him for a while, and then he starts freaking out. He's saying he's stressed, and he's stressing me, Julie. He's screwing up my karma.
So imagine this dude's karma. He runs over little. Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
we'll
Imagine
get the kind of karma this guy has.
he's like, but me and this mount boy.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what karma is.
No, I don't.
Clearly.
So then Bozo goes and works out, Slug smokes, and then Slug and Wanda make out and gloat over murdering people in hit and runs.
Yeah.
Just gloat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The one girl says to Slug, like, can I go the next time you guys go? You know, like she's been waiting and wanting.
They talk about how hot it gets them.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Yeah.
The type of
wow.
evil that they're depicted as being is so weird. It's
Yeah.
such like a weird, like just deep.
It's like a deep root, like just the cruelty.
Yeah.
Is
Well, right. And
insane.
like Slug and Bozo, they're typical knuckleheads. Like those characters and the actors play them, you know, that way. But yeah, the women, it's not endearing or amusing. They're
Well,
psychosexual. Like,
And even those guys seem frustrated, but the women are like, it's the only thing in life for it's
the
so
best.
weird. It's such
Yeah.
a weird way to write any character,
It really
especially
is.
women characters.
It really is.
But Slug declares how much he loves the sound of breaking bones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's true.
and I love how much Corey Feldman obviously got some hints from Slugs. You know, it's like he's got the red headband and the
yeah.
camo jacket.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's
yeah.
exactly how it looked in Lost Boys
This
and Goonies too. to an extent.
This is definitely a quartet of 4 evil people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the worst.
And Bozo is pretty obviously on steroids. He's got the
Oh,
roid
yeah.
rage.
roid
Yeah.
rage going all
For
the time.
sure.
Yeah, that
For sure.
yes.
Nonstop.
Yeah, so Slug and Wanda have sex in the locker room. Melvin walks in on them and they threaten to kill him for looking.
With a poorly brandished knife.
Right.
Very poorly branded.
She's holding it with 2 fingers.
Yeah.
Just waving it around.
And obviously we can't see, but Slug does this like it's almost like a Renaissance painting. He turns around, he's like, "Get out of here!" Like, it's
Yeah.
just so like a sculpture. It's very dramatic. That dude.
That night, the gang get together and deliberately murder a young boy on a bike with their car.
So that was okay. So $500,000. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah,
That was cool head squishing.
Yes, I mean it was.
I mean, I've seen them done before.
It was an impressive effect for the time and for the.
That's why I said that at the top of the show.
Yes, I know. You don't have to keep telling
There's
us.
always
We know.
This
Yeah.
caveat.
they didn't actually run over a kid. There are
No.
some questionable things that they did in production, but this I assume was done according to some safety standards.
Well, I mean, it's clearly a dummy kid.
It is, yeah. I mean, I tried, this was hard to watch, we all agreed. So I tried to find something and then I just focused on the effects.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. And then they take
Can't find redeemable.
Polaroids. They take photos of it afterwards
Yeah.
as souvenirs.
They'd
Right.
spent a couple minutes talking about the points system.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Before they-
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they get into some real racist
clarification.
yeah.
And
Oh, real
Yeah.
racist.
And
Yeah.
they-
Real
yeah.
racist pieces of shit these guys
Yeah.
are.
They make it clear that you have to actually kill them to get full points. You,
Right,
You
and
can't just graze them.
Where are the points redeemed?
I
do
don't
you
know.
think?
That's
Peter
like
Piper
a
pizza.
Dave, Dave
Yeah.
and Buster's type situation.
the gates of hell.
Yeah,
the Dave and Buster's and now
Yeah.
yeah. There's one. Yeah,
the Chuck E. Cheese and Satan's
Right.
asshole.
So the
Points.
kid on the
Who's
bike is
keeping
worth.
track?
Sorry, the kid on the bike is worth 28 points if
Yeah.
if he gets them both.
Yeah, the bike
Yeah.
end.
That's such a random number.
Yeah.
And I love that he takes off in the middle of the night with his like reflective windbreaker and his helmet.
Yeah, well,
and
and
his
they-
sister's like, "Have fun."
He wasn't just a random kid. They gave him a couple of seconds of like,
Oh,
here's
they.
this boy leaving mom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they looked
he
him
said
over.
something too, didn't
They
he?
taunted
Yeah.
him for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had a line up down.
It was weird.
Saying
It
he
was
was
so-
cute and be safe out there, and then they went and turned around.
Yeah,
This was
clearly
the-
nighttime.
This was the moment of like, this is the point of no return in this movie.
No, once
Yeah, it's
that
like, once
happened,
the
it's like,
kids- yeah.
oh, this
Yeah.
is the movie it's gonna be.
I
Well-
had no idea what I was getting myself into until this scene happened.
Yeah.
Not to spend too much time on this. It was just so fucking brutal.
It
Well,
was
and
insane.
yeah, he backs up over him. Oh no,
Yeah.
no, I'm sorry. The car spins around. But there was something more heinous about just backing up over.
Well, yeah, they hit the kid
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
It's
They
just,
hit him first. He goes over the top.
Yeah, he
him and
does.
his bike, and then they realize he's still alive. So
Well,
then
yeah.
he backs over.
Backs
and
up.
there's that brutal
I thought
scene
he
of him
got cars.
like pulling himself along with
That's
his
right.
legs clearly
Yeah.
like unresponsive. He's
Yeah.
best case scenario. He's a paraplegic at that point.
Homie was acting.
But
they did a lot of
Kid
things
is-
throughout this movie trying to get you with different effects. And we were talking about this when we were watching it, and I kept like mentioning this like they're just trying to hit every reaction that people have naturally.
I think that's absolutely
and this is
the goal.
This is the first one. I mean, the first like shot
Yeah.
across the bow, and then after that, it's like game on.
Right, like I said, the beginning of the workout gym. Yeah, that seemed fun.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
had no idea.
No.
Yeah, we'll be back to the gym though.
Oh,
Many
yeah.
times over.
Quite a bit.
So the Bozo wants to do it again. He's super psyched by this experience.
Oh, yeah.
After they take the
Yeah.
Polaroids, the girls take the Polaroids.
Right, and they're down to do it some
and-
more.
But Slug says, "Oh, I gotta go back home.
Why?
I have to go to church in the morning."
And they just all go, oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
there's lots of little vignettes. That's what these
Yeah.
are. Like
Yeah.
that was to set up that punchline.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was all
That kid's head.
Yeah, there was some weird
it was
like
funny.
anti-waspiness in that. Not to be like, not that I'm here to protect the wasp identity in the United States or anything, but there were some clear like wasp overtones with that comment. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
is the '80s that was the big thing, like
Oh,
similar to like evangelicals, how people make jokes now. That
Mm-hmm.
it was just interesting to see that.
Yeah,
with,
totally.
with
Well,
the
it's wild to
very-
hear that those guys went to Yale and one studied law and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like they were pointed.
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, very.
There were some pointed.
there
jokes.
was no subtlety in this movie.
No.
really.
Yeah.
Another day soon. I don't think it was the next day. At the health club, Slug puts a
Snake.
My note said smaller. I was like, autocorrect. What was it? One day, soon at the health club, Slug puts a snake down an aerobics instructor's shirt.
That's our second pocket snake.
Pocket snake.
Oh my god, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then while playing racquetball, the gang decides to really get Melvin.
Yeah. I'm so sorry I missed this earlier though. When Slug and his girlfriend have sex in the gym, he's like, "Hey, I paid so and so $15. We have it for the night." It's like, then what's that? How much is a membership?
Right.
He gets the whole thing for 15. All right. Yeah. So
Meanwhile, a truck of uncovered barrels of toxic waste.
yeah.
Not just uncovered.
They're slopping
Sloshing
around.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are unsecured.
They're not roped
They're
in.
completely full.
There are no sides. It's on a flatbed truck,
Right.
And there are no like rails to keep it.
Yeah. It's like
or ropes.
throw a Home Depot
anything, and
tarp over that.
Yeah, wherever these came from, they are not doing their job.
And they're escorts also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
they've been driving for 2 hours. They said
2 hours.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this though, and they pull out their giant bag of cocaine.
Two
Yeah.
giant bags of cocaine.
Yeah, 2. If that dude had that much cocaine, he would not have been able to get 2 hours without mentioning it and bringing it up in some way.
It was.
It would have been before he got in the truck. Look how much cocaine
we were
had.
watching, and as I say, there's so much. Everybody's so high on cocaine. Clearly, everyone's so sweaty. These two guys bust out these giant bags of cocaine, and then like 10 seconds later, their faces are white and powdery. It was the dumbest thing ever. Just like, oh, there's so much cocaine.
So
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everyone was.
God,
There was a lot of
there's-
cocaine
yeah,
on the set,
I mean,
I'm sure.
Well, and in the early 80s, obviously, there weren't advertisements for it, but like people were really out about using cocaine in the early 80s.
You don't have to.
Not just in
it
pop
sells
culture,
itself,
but
man.
yeah, you know.
No, like the
More
ad,
so than weed, even.
ad-
Yeah, it sells itself, right?
yeah, right. Ads in National Lampoon
Right.
magazine, like
Yeah.
for like Coke spoons and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
right. Yeah, I remember.
Crazy.
Yeah. So, the gang trick Melvin into wearing a pink tutu and kissing a sheep in front of the whole health club.
Didn't you
Yeah.
say that's sissy stuff?
He
Yeah.
did say that. Yeah.
Look,
But-
as far as this chick is concerned, Melvin got off light. You know, that's all she
Oh,
wanted to do to
God.
him.
Right.
She was a 10-year-old boy on a bike. He beat.
Yeah, she was being kind.
Yeah.
For her.
Yeah.
Like their pranks are real up and down.
But Melvin gets to see some boobies.
He does. He
Yeah.
sees some boobs. He's happy about that.
As will you if you watch this movie.
Yeah, some 80s boobs.
And Julie wants him to meet her down by the pool
Yes.
wearing the pink tutu.
Yeah, and he goes down
'Cause
there in the dark, and
Pink
then when
is
he
her favorite
yes.
color. It gets
and,
her hot.
and then when they turn it on, yes, he's kissing a
He's
sheep
hugging a sheep.
and kissing.
You have your pink, and I have my pink.
Pink gets me
Yeah.
so hot.
You put your pink on, and I'll take my pink off.
Yeah, it was Yeah. Something.
Yeah, hugging a sheep. So,
So hugging
he's
a
not
sheep, yeah.
copulating with it. He's
No.
not kissing it.
He
No,
was
he was.
kind
He
of
was kissing
He was
it.
kissing the
kissing its
Kissing
face.
it like on the
Okay.
head and face.
Yeah.
And you notice he's like, "You're so soft."
Yeah.
Like he expected her
And
to still feel like
fluffy.
wool.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's not as it's embarrassing because of the simpleness of the character,
Yes. Well,
But it's like that's okay,
It's no Carrie. They didn't dump like.
yeah.
right? But they
pig's
did those
blood.
shots like De Palma did though, like where it's like they showed the sort of distorted camera of people laughing and pointing.
Yeah, pointing
Yeah.
at the
They're
camera.
like,
Yeah, with the fisheye. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So he tries to run to escape the laughter and is chased around the health club and out a
They
second.
chase him.
They chase him.
Chase him and taunt him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
un-
100 people.
until he falls out the second story window and lands in a drum of
He dives out.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
fall.
Okay,
he
yeah.
Did you guys see
jumps
that?
out head first.
Did you guys see the stuntman
Yeah.
coming down with short blonde hair and like much wider than Melvin?
Very stocky.
Yeah, he looked like Robert Redford from behind falling out a window.
Robert Redford could have been in this movie.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It could have happened.
uh,
Could have been him.
he lands in a drum of toxic
Dustin
waste.
Hoffman. Yeah, so toxic waste. Head first.
Yeah. The crowd laughs at his suffering.
Yes, they do.
And what does Bozo say?
Bozo says,
Look, Linda, if you
Oh yeah, it was.
if you
well,
can't
first,
take a joke.
first he says he's faking it.
Oh,
He's
right.
faking
Yeah,
it,
he's
Julie,
faking,
he's faking it. But then
he's
he's
faking falling into a vat.
until he bursts
this
into
this
flame.
guy. If he can't take a joke, he stinks.
Yeah.
He can't take a joke.
Yeah,
Then-
again, he's getting off light with this crew.
Yeah.
Like that's a joke.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
Then he jumps out, rides around on the street where he bursts into flames and runs away.
Yeah.
the,
so
the
the-
cop comes up and tries to help him, and his hands catch on fire.
Yeah.
The cop's hands.
I guess in that stunt during production, the actor who played Melvin got burned pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
By
I'm
the cop's
sure.
hands dripping
Oh,
lamp
man.
oil or
Yeah.
whatever on
There's
it.
yeah.
a brief shot of Melvin himself catching on fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talked about the guy running on fire in Swamp Thing. This one was a long one too. There was an
Yeah.
obvious cut, but he goes all the way down the street
Yeah.
on fire.
There were some interesting comparisons to Swamp Thing with this. Not to derail this whole conversation to Swamp
No,
Thing,
no,
but this
but
is
that's
like
true.
this was like
Yeah.
a largely a weird and gross Swamp Thing.
Well, yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
like what? No, it's a
Right,
good parallel
yeah.
because it's an '80s movie about like someone becoming a monster who actually is a hero.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Still retaining their humanity, kind of a Frankenstein-ish.
There's a
Like-
lot of Frankenstein
Like
going
low
on.
budget, early
Yeah.
'80s, and it's actually interesting to look at Swamp Thing because that's a movie that you can tell they didn't have a lot of money, but he crafted it as well as he could. Wes
Yeah.
Craven did, whereas
But we even saw like the back of the rubber costume and stuff like that in Swamp Thing.
yeah.
So, he
Yeah.
wasn't that far off.
I think the reveal of the character was a little better with this.
Oh, this
was-
in comparisons.
Okay.
This was a little bit more. Not to say that it was better, but it was. You could see there was a lot of thought went into
Yeah.
how do we reveal
It's a
how
well
disgusting this character looks.
it's a well done transformation
Yeah.
scene. Like
It really is.
comparatively. So like I can think of American Werewolf in London, and The Howling was kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
And Pinocchio is a pretty disturbing transformation scene. But yeah, like they showed it. A lot of times movies cut away and he's the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had to have the pulsing skin on his head and then also on his chest, so it's like
Yeah.
those are
Well-
inflatable, like I don't know.
Well, yeah. Okay.
They spent time and money.
Yeah. So he's at home. He goes in the bathtub. His mom's knocking on the door.
Right. That's a trope, a comic book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Peter, are you all right in there?
Exactly.
yes,
So-
Aunt May.
And then
I'm jerking off.
yeah, and then there's
Spider webbing.
all the air bladders and everything going on. He's doing the transformation, and he ducks down and pops back up as the larger actor.
Yeah.
in the same makeup.
This is a beautiful transition.
Yeah.
It was.
It was
know,
good.
All the while, the Night on Bald Mountain is playing.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
Will
Yeah.
continue to play
Yeah, they use
in
it
many parts
a
of
number
this
of
film.
times
because it is royalty free.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So and then his mom says, "Oh, he's finally reached puberty."
Yeah, she can hear grunting from in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Oof.
And she's so delighted by that.
Then we cut to a street where a group of drug dealers, led by the criminal Cigar Face,
Cigar Face.
Yeah. Well, what happens when he's not smoking,
The other two were
Just face.
Knuckles and Nipples.
Knuckles and Nipples.
Was Nipples the transvestite?
Yes.
Okay.
Racist. Yeah, he was funny too. He had a great voice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This whole gang was great. They're harassing a police officer by the name of O'Clancy.
Because
Clancy.
they're trying to give him a bribe, and they know he's not going to take it. So
Because he's one of the good ones. He's an
Yeah.
Irish cop.
Yes.
Versus
Yeah.
the German cop that we
Yeah.
see with the
Later on.
mayor.
Exactly.
They're laying it on so thick. There's no subtlety in this movie.
No.
He's
no
got a
subtlety.
terrible Irish accent too.
No, there's no.
Oh,
yeah,
I can
cigar
take
face
you.
is not.
I can take your bribe. Oh,
Isn't that the O'Shaughnessy boy?
oh, it's the children. His name is O'Clancy too.
Yeah,
Oh, we made a name for me named O'Clancy. Like, whoa, man,
he's
that's
a sensitive
terrible.
cop.
Yeah,
He
So
is.
Hanging out with the ice cream
They-
parlor.
they beat him up,
They beat him
Yes,
up.
they do.
and they're about to shoot his dick off.
They're
Yeah.
about to shoot his dick off. Yeah, they put a cigar out on his face.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
that's
The
why they call him cigar face.
face.
Yeah. I mean, and there was some stage combat, and also Nipples had a pad. You could tell right here, or the O'Shaughnessy did the cop. But anyways, the kicks, there were some really ferocious kicks.
The
on
cop had nipples.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cop did
No,
have
that's cool.
nipples.
We
I
can
mean,
call
I
them
don't
all
know.
nipples.
Well, he didn't have. He didn't take his shirt off. I don't know.
We'll just assume that he had nipples.
But yeah, anyway, she
That's
got
an
some.
assumption I'm not willing to make.
She got some good kicks in
Yeah, no, it was
while wearing a cable knit sweater.
yeah, it was largely well choreographed.
Nipples was an interesting character, retaining the beard and being a man in drag.
Right.
It was a
know,
brave
it was-
choice.
It was an interesting choice. I would have rather no beard, but whatever. It's the 80s.
Hey.
I
Well,
wasn't
that
around
it
at this
is the
time.
80s.
It's also trauma, and
Yeah.
they're gonna do
the
whatever
fact
the
that
hell
the
they
fact
want
that
to
they
do.
had a gender fluid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
character at
I'll
all.
take what I can get. But
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
it was just interesting.
Who kicked a
seeing-
little butt?
Yeah,
That's what I was
there was
saying.
some kung fu
I said those
happening, which
kicks
was
were
interesting.
legit.
So,
But that's another 80s thing. Like that was often a joke. Cross dressers or transvestites in Times Square.
Yes.
And things
Yeah.
like that. That would be used in mainstream movies. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm in the bad part of town.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's
so like
true.
they did it too.
So Melvin appears out of nowhere and violently kills the criminal, except for Cigar Face, and leaves a mop shoved into their heads,
Yes.
into their mouths.
Yeah.
He poked Nipples' eyes out.
Oh yes,
like-
plucked him out.
Captain Insano style.
He
Yeah.
poked him in the eyes and
Right.
then plucked him out.
Yes.
Yeah. That was gruesome.
Hey everyone, Thoreau from Harmless Phosphorescence here with a message for you. Yes, you listening to me talk. Did you know that the Harmless Entertainment Network has a Patreon? That's right, you can join in and get extra fun like a Star Wars Harmless Phosphorescence miniseries, a patron-only Q&A roundtable episode. We have great bonus episodes of audio dramas like Attention Hellmart Shoppers in 1994. But not only that, if we reach our next patron goal, we'll do a monthly bonus Harmless Phosphorescence about a patron-chosen non-superhero movie. Plus, there are great new shows on the way, and if you're a patron, you'll get to hear them first. Head over to patreon.com/harmlessentertainment today, and for the price of a cup of coffee, you too can join our super awesome superhero club. Now, back to the show.
Did you notice Toxie does resemble Sloth?
Oh,
Oh,
very
yeah.
much.
This
Yeah.
was a year before
Very
Goonies.
much.
This was a year
Interesting.
before.
Interesting.
Or maybe almost, but Goonies 1985 for sure.
Yeah. Huh.
Cigar Face promises revenge.
Yes, he
Yes.
escapes, promising revenge. Back at the police station, Officer O'Clancy tells the press about Toxie.
Oh, by the way, we're now, this is body count, 2 for Melvin and 3 overall.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice. You kept track?
I tried.
Nice.
And wasn't that called Shinbone Alley?
Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
fun,
yeah.
like a kid's public act. Or, yeah, anyway.
Oh, yeah, like a kid's show. For, yeah.
Shinbone Alley. Yeah.
At the police station.
So, this is where he starts talking.
Oh, yes, right.
He goes up to
I forgot he talks.
O'Clancy, and he's been doing like the Hulk roar this whole time. And he walks up to O'Clancy, and
That's right.
and he's got some eloquent speaking voice. Like he's just like, "Don't worry, I won't hurt you. I don't know what came over me."
Yeah.
But he's still doing the monster breathing at the same time.
In the background, underneath. Yeah. Well, no. They,
Like a suave guy with asthma.
So I get the feeling they didn't intend for him to talk.
Right.
And
Yeah.
And thought they should add it in.
and then
Yeah,
afterwards
that could
decided
be.
to add in the talking.
Because the narration has that feel too.
So,
Yeah.
so when O'Clancy reports it back at the police station, it's like, "Oh, he had the voice of an angel."
Yeah.
And that's when we're introduced to the chief.
He sounds like what I imagine Captain America sounding like before Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
hello, citizen,
Oh, right.
America.
Or
just-
Superman.
yeah.
Old
Or
school
Superman.
Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the radio
that,
show.
That the deep commanding voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The mayor, we meet the mayor. Well, kind of meet the mayor. We met him a little bit earlier in the health club.
We saw him getting that massage.
Yeah, he
Next
It
to
was
the
a-
sandwich.
It was a creepy massage.
real creepy. Discusses what to do about
Sandwich
Toxie
was
with a group of crooked cops and hangers-on.
We also met the Nazi police chief.
Yes, the police chief.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's doing like a Mel Brooks character impression. But until he opens his mouth, there's nothing that indicates.
Yeah.
You know, he looks like a typical NYPD cop.
Plus, it's 1984. If he were an actual like hidden Nazi, he'd be old.
Very old.
He'd
Oh
be-
right, yeah. If he was actually
know.
an
And he
escape,
has a
right?
German
60
accent, so
or
he's
70.
from Germany.
That's what. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at least saying that.
Well,
but
and
again,
again-
doesn't he almost do the Mein Führer, the salute?
He does do the
He does
salute.
do it?
He
Yeah,
says
okay.
he says Achtung and
Oh,
does
yeah.
the salute, and then he kind of passes off. It's like, raise your hands and if you have a question.
It was I was an interesting critique of like police brutality in connection to like the mayor's office and corruption and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
the race thing, being German and Irish, was just on second watch. I was like, this is so weird.
It is
Like,
really
they're
weird.
really trying to make a point about
They
this.
made weird choices,
Yeah.
in some ways, but like not subtle choices.
Yeah, not at all.
No.
Yeah. Melvin tries to return
The-
home.
The mayor's office. These four guys are standing around.
Oh
talking.
yeah.
All of them. They're like clearly reading off cue cards, but they're reading their lines almost directly into the camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
And
it
so
goes.
so dry and flat and one by one.
Mhm.
Is
And
that where they have the strippers?
not
No,
yet.
that's later
not
on.
yet.
That's later on.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm always
It's just the
doing that.
guys talking about the events. The,
Oh, right.
The gruesome
They're like,
thing, and the one guy's
Find
like,
me a Captain Avenger.
gruesome. Have you seen my mother-in-law? That's gruesome.
Yeah. Yo, hey, I got nothing.
And then they
Yeah.
start talking about the take, and the other guy. I'm gonna try and do this as well as I can.
Yeah, do it.
It would have been double if it wasn't for this devastating, tragic turn of events.
Toy.
Toy.
of a wins.
Is that Bugs
That's close,
Bunny?
but it
It's like
wasn't
a
But yeah, just horrible readings, and
Yeah.
they have not memorized their lines. They're clearly reading
Right.
off of a cue card.
Yeah, no, obviously.
I don't know if I would call it acting. It's just
Some people in this picture are acting.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some are
Some are not.
really acting.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
Bozo is terrible, but that dude's invested.
No,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
doing it. He
Yeah.
found his motivation.
He's probably
Yeah.
not sleeping
Yeah.
at night when he goes home from work. This was his job.
Imagine if he was
guys.
method.
He goes murders people on his way
Yeah.
home.
Just does a shit ton of cocaine.
Well,
that
that
for
may have
sure.
actually.
Yeah, no, yeah. You could see everyone. was
So she's
sweaty.
back into the health club for.
Well, no. Melvin tries to return home.
Yeah.
Well, first is the scene with Wanda and Slug in the sauna, where he
Oh,
does,
yeah.
he
The
does his
elephant
elephant man
Yeah.
Yes.
impression.
yeah,
Uh,
that was.
We
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
I'm sure
He
Lloyd
tries to
Kaufman
fake it
loved
out.
that.
they're trying to
movie.
lead us into thinking that Melvin is coming back to the club,
Uh-huh.
but it's not. It's
Yeah.
so Melvin is going home. He tries to go home.
He's
Yeah.
a family man.
Yeah, Melvin tries
Yep.
to return home. His mother's terrified of him and won't
Yep.
let him into the house.
Can't go
So
home
Melvin
again.
goes to the junkyard and builds himself a home.
Yeah, it's nice.
So
It's a little-
his
but-
home
little condo.
was in the first shot, like the first shot of the movie.
Oh yeah,
that
Oh,
little
yeah.
trailer
Toxic
thing that he
dungeon.
lived in,
Yeah.
his little toxic dungeon or whatever,
But
was there
it was
before.
It was so cute when his mom
Toxic
turns him
Avenger.
away. He's just like, "Ma,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
he's so
Ma."
sad.
He roars a little bit.
Yeah.
So then we got to the mayor and his business cronies having a dancing girl party.
Okay, those women,
Yeah,
they
man.
were so old.
He's such like
that shouldn't matter.
he's such like a Roman trope though. Like
yeah,
they
yeah.
they should have been feeding him grapes.
Yeah, he looks like
drinking
Bacchus.
wine out of a big old carafe or
Right.
something.
And checking out those gilfs on
Right.
stage. It's like a mom I'd like a ride home from. That's it.
There was a paper next to him. Poles caught in sex dance scandal or sex party scandal or something.
There are scandals in this mess of a town.
But they have like the newspaper propped up to show that this is what these guys are corrupt and partying.
Yeah.
because them being corrupt.
Yeah,
and partying
because
wasn't
they got
enough.
caught. Like,
Right. And they're crooked because they're doing shady business with these nuclear waste companies. Right.
And they're planning
And-
to build a new
Yeah.
dump adjacent to the town's water supply.
So it really is all about real estate. I'm not gonna, I won't keep
Yeah.
saying it each episode,
it's
but
always about real estate.
Yeah,
well,
it's
and
somehow
there was a fourth wall
white-collar
break
crime at the end.
during this scene with the mayor where he's just like, why wouldn't we do that? Like, we're just gonna do this instead. And he like looks at the camera like,
right? And then
fuck you, man. That's the water supply.
While these guys are talking about where they're going to put the toxic waste, there's a shot of the dump where presumably Melvin is.
Right.
And there's a sign that says the U.S. Department of Interior has declared this area a national preserve for wildlife. No dumping.
yeah, saw that.
It's just trash.
Yeah.
they're
everywhere.
they're so
Waste.
evil. Elsewhere in Tromaville, a gang of 3 men hold up a Mexican food restaurant. I don't want to
sorry.
call it a Mexican restaurant.
The
It's
Mexican
called
place.
the Mexican
The
place.
Mexican place, yeah.
And it looks like an
the
old school
start of
Taco
the
Bell.
scene. There was a big meanwhile across the
Yes.
across the
Yeah.
screen.
Right. Meanwhile, like we had been following these guys.
Meanwhile,
Before we get into the atrociousness of that, I will say one thing. Staging a robbery and then introducing every dude in the gang
yeah.
to that is badass.
No,
I've never
that
seen that
guy-
in a movie. Like this, we'll be robbing you today. This
Yo,
is
if you need drinks, you can get them from Rico over here on the fountain, man.
introducing your bank or your
I'm the
restaurant high school.
shotgun Leroy.
Yeah.
No, I really wanted like a band to like start getting like
And of course, featuring Doc Severin on trumpet. Yeah.
Does anybody have the whole thing written
And
down?
the
Because it's
Saturday Night Live
hilarious.
players.
It was the only part of this entire scene that was worth
The introduction.
really discussing.
The intro of the others.
Yeah.
I didn't have the whole thing written, not word for word, but they burst in and says, we're going to be your entertainment this afternoon. And
Yeah.
on shotgun, Leroy.
Yeah.
On the cash register, the magic fingers, Rico.
Who is stressed.
yes, Rico was
He's also
and he was-
stressed. Yes.
Very much a lost little boy.
and
He's very
dressed like
stressed.
dressed like a professional wrestler.
And he's
Yeah.
burned out. He's got like the burnout like eyeballs.
Leroy's dressed like the wrestler. He's
Leroy-
got the paint.
oh, yeah.
Rico doesn't have any.
Oh,
face
Rico
paint
was the
on.
normal one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
He was
the normal one.
with his finger on the trigger.
He
the
went to
whole
Sarah
time.
Lawrence.
And he's talking through his clenched teeth.
I just
He's-
I'm Rico.
His
Right.
teeth are clenched the whole time.
Yeah, sorry. Who were
And
the
then
other guys?
yours truly, Frank. And he
That was right.
he throws his he plays with his switchblade
But
on,
really badly.
Butterfly. Knife?
Yeah, really badly.
Really
I know
badly.
people who can do that really well.
on the stick.
Hey,
And
Yeah. See, I was like, that's funny. I turned to Andrew. I was like, that's really funny. Oh, good Lord.
they should have paid somebody $20 to do that better. That would have been really cool to have that actually be like an impressive
cool. Yeah.
knife trick. But
yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So
before we get into the fucking chaos.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
so-
once introductions are done,
they
they
murdered
skip right
they
to
mur-
the main course.
Yeah, they murder the guy who stands up and asks them to take
Whoa.
him.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
wait, you're
the model
completely-
citizen.
I know.
You're completely glossing
We've been-
over Leroy sees a woman with a baby
Oh,
and
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
and has to go
yes.
harass the mother and the baby, pointing the shotgun directly at the baby.
Oh,
Pointing
well,
it right at the baby.
Well, okay, yeah. In
It was terrifying.
no, and if you, yes, because I actually looked at that baby's
Okay.
face at the moment they did that, and
Yeah.
that child was legitimately terrified.
Yeah,
I think it's a
Yeah.
Jackie
There-
Cooper
there was-
situation. You know,
there
don't
was a
shoot my
voiceover.
dog.
There were voiceover tears, and then there were real tears from the kid.
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
a lot of like this voiceover, and then like actual fear kind of thing that was happening.
And there was
in
a
this movie.
surprisingly large amount of child actors in this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
there really
And,
were.
and there
Well,
were some really cute moments with kids.
Yeah, the
on
ice cream
on
shop.
screen, like the
They-
ice
right,
cream.
I will get-
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
they get
but
like all
this
G Willikers.
this was the second
Little rascals.
moment in this movie for me where I went, "What the fuck is happening?"
Mm-hmm.
Like kid getting a gun pointed at him.
So, Brian, didn't you look up on IMDb trivia that this guy,
The actor,
The actor.
who was cast as
Leroy.
Leroy
Mhm.
quit immediately after having to point the gun at this kid.
Wow.
Which is interesting because,
Messed him up.
that's just the demands of doing something like that. Like, that's a little much. You don't have to write that shit into this scene. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
And,
like-
and Martin Sheen claims to have gone nuts on Apocalypse Now.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
else-
But yeah,
It's like, you're
Leroy
just
was
talking
like,
to
"I'm just outta
Brando.
here."
Yeah, he's like, dude, I
didn't
fuck
shoot
this.
a-
I quit.
Threatened to
I'm-
shoot a baby.
This is the second violent act against a child in the movie. You know, the kid who gets
Yeah.
run over by a car.
Well, okay, so that's the old thing. Like you don't hurt kids and animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both in this scene.
Yeah.
Right.
And this was also when I was just doing my little IMDb poking around at this movie, the biggest complaint that this movie got was the dog.
The
Yeah.
dog. You
It is
can't
bonkers,
hurt
but that
animals.
is true.
Humanity, you suck. Animals are, but people too. Come on.
So, just to get through this scene, where does it go after the baby?
So okay, yeah. So that they murder the guy who stands up and says, "No, take me hostage."
Oh, right. He looked like Chicago's Abe Froman.
Yeah.
His
Well,
sausage king.
which was not a good plan. Also,
No,
Yeah,
no, it
he's
was not.
standing-
He's
I'm-
clearly hasn't been in Tromaville.
I'm
long
gonna
enough.
I'm gonna reason with these.
These guys.
he's no Denzel. Needless
No.
to say, he's like,
So-
I can talk my way out of this.
and
Leroy's on shotgun.
Yeah.
I saw him at
and after
saw him at Cobo Hall last year. It was great.
after he shoots him, everybody starts screaming, and he's like, "Shut up!" He looks at the camera, and is like, "It was self-defense."
that's yeah.
That was another big thing.
Yeah. So and then they attack Sarah, the blind Sarah, and
Okay.
her guide dog.
So she's awesome.
She's great.
But yeah, she's blind. Everyone at home, this woman is blind.
Well, yes.
Well, no, the
She's
actress is
definitely-
not.
She's not
No, the
blind.
actress
She is
No, but I
definitely
mean this
playing a
character.
blind person.
So I'm
Why
so,
didn't they get her sunglasses? Anyway,
Like somebody
Right.
with sight. Yeah. that
I
was
know
bad.
I know why she has to be blind later when it comes to Melvin, but
Sure.
but it makes what's about to happen all the more worse. She's
Yeah.
blind.
Like and so they attempt to rape her. They
Yeah,
throw her
after
over a
shooting the
table.
dog.
After they shoot her assistant
seeing eye
dog.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 years they've been together. She
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. and-
Carrie.
yes.
Was it Carrie or
It was
Gary?
Carrie.
It was
Okay.
Carrie.
Carrie, like
Oh, it's a
Carrie
nod.
Yules.
I thought it was Gary. But
Yeah, it was weird.
And
Carrie.
then-
Well, you
that-
thought it was geography.
And then at that moment,
Just kidding. I didn't look it up. It probably is. So yeah, they attempt to rape her right there.
right there in front of everybody, a blind
This
woman,
blind woman.
thrown across the table of a Mexican
Just
food
came for a
restaurant.
chalupa.
Which doesn't make anybody scream.
No.
It's
They may be too. I don't know.
a new player has entered the game.
And then Melvin shows up
Melvin.
and just wrecks him.
Yeah, sticks the one guy's hands.
he tears
He'll never play shotgun.
he
Yeah.
tears Frank's arm off
And
Right.
beats him with it.
and beats him
So
with
you'll
it.
you'll notice the first couple of times when they start fighting, Frank only hits him, I think, with his right arm. Bam.
Left arm.
Left arm. But he's not using his other hand. His hand is just hanging kind of loose by his arm.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure I was
The
reading
Bob
about
Dole.
it. And I had to rewatch this because I wasn't sure, but there was like some tidbit on IMDb, of course, about him having one arm. And they had a prosthesis on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yes,
they had him pull like a fake arm off of a sleeve and then like rigged him up with the blood bag and everything.
Nice.
This is why you always leave a
But-
note.
yeah. It was just an interesting thing. I was like, oh
But-
wow, that's an interesting shortcut for a gory
That's-
production company.
That's exactly
You know.
what Al and I said because he told me you had told him that.
Yeah. I mean, not to
Right, but yeah, that's
you
it.
got to
The
get a
rules,
shortcut.
yeah,
you
that's
know, as
genius
an
to
actor
find
kind of thing, to be like,
amputees
well, let's see if we
for
can
your
find
horror
somebody
movie.
with an injury that we
Yeah.
can,
That's brilliant. I'm sure it happens.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it
Yeah.
before.
yeah. So and then he turns the other guy into a sundae.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Goes through all.
Um,
Yeah. He
What do
carefully
they call
making
it? Just desserts.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
He
right.
receives his just
Oh,
desserts.
they paid off that gag. All
And
right.
then the last guy, his hands go into the deep fryer where he bends the bars over so he can't remove his hands. So he's in there for like an hour just
Right.
being fried.
That's
until the
Rico.
chief shows up later. Yeah.
yeah. And they
That's
oh,
Rico.
That's
yeah.
Rico.
Rico.
He becomes a human
In
French fry.
Rico, while he's getting his hands dipped,
Oh yeah.
he says, "Can't you take a joke? We were only kidding."
Yeah. Once again,
That's all. Yeah.
that's a
They
joke.
just did it for the lulz.
It's a traumatizing scene. No pun intended. It's just
Yeah,
Yeah,
seriously.
it was hard
awful.
to
and
watch.
and then when the cops show up, they're all eating tacos in the
Right.
worst manner.
and that cook knows the chief They know each other.
That kitchen scene was kind of this like Wes Anderson feel of them, just like this casual, like people don't usually eat on camera, you know?
Right,
And to have people eating on camera is always kind of this weird revealing thing.
Right.
But it was just a funny moment. I liked that they were eating tacos in the Mexican places they were investigating the scene of the crime.
So body count.
Listen
5,
to my body count.
5 for Melvin. 8 overall.
Okay.
All right.
So
Did you count the dog?
I did count the dog.
Oh,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah, of course I counted the dog. It's a body.
It's a dog.
It's hey.
Okay, we've got hours of
it's
this
a
podcast.
dead dog.
Now we're
Okay.
just
It's in subcategory B. So one of the
asterisk
Yeah.
on that one.
right.
I'll put it into the.
We need a third column, 5, 8, and now.
But that is
I'll put it in the
7.
minutes.
That's a hilarious phenomenon. I think somebody has done a study, but like if you ask for a donation for the Humane Society or an animal or something like that, people are more willing to give than like if it says homeless children or
Mhm.
Yeah, dude, people are messed up.
Yeah, for sure.
Agreed. I think we're done here.
Show over.
Yeah, they are messed up.
They're going to great pains still to conceal Melvin's face.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
oh,
They haven't
yeah.
showed it once. Yeah.
He helps. We don't even know her name yet.
Yeah.
He helps the blind woman up and takes her home, and we see him leading her home, walking backwards, and then they get to her house, and he enters the house walking backwards
Uh-huh.
while she trips over the step. There's
Yeah, there are a lot of blind
There's some
gags.
blind
gags.
She has a whole row of canes.
like
Yeah.
30 of them.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
she-
Yeah, it
that's
is.
a really
Yeah.
funny
How do
gag.
you not do
That's funny.
She
yeah.
offers him a PBJ,
Uh-huh.
and then they get
Like
to know
you
each
would.
other while she reads his palm.
She canes him in the crotch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also, while reading his palm, grabs his
Reads something
junk
else,
right there.
yeah.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah.
I just want to say, you guys, did anybody watch Daredevil? Not the movie, which we'll get to, but the Netflix TV show.
The first 2 seasons.
Yeah. How well he depicted being blind, being just visually impaired,
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
and how different it was than this. Because I watched an interview with him where he talked about it and like the things that he did after talking to blind people.
Mm.
Right.
You know, to say like, so you know, and like. Learning from there was none of that in this.
No.
She just
No,
kind of
none
is moving
whatsoever.
her eyes around
Yeah.
the room. It was, not.
She's playing it for laughs. I mean,
yeah,
she's
it
doing-
definitely playing it for laughs. The tripping
She's doing all right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then we cut to a press conference where a
With Dr. Merton Snodberger.
who assures the public that the monster only attacks bad people.
Yeah, studies have shown.
He was German too, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, his accent kind of changed.
He was,
a
I
couple
think he was
times.
supposed to be like a
Jeff Fluke?
Einstein-y.
The Sigmund Freud voice, or,
Austrian maybe.
Yeah.
Like a Vienna accent. Viennese.
Hey guys,
It's all cool. Melvin attacks the mayor's drug dealer in the health club, killing him. Then he attacks Wanda in the health club sauna, where she is masturbating to pictures of the kids they murdered.
yeah,
That was we kind of glazed over the other murder. That was a brutal
Yeah, with the
visual
head,
effect
the-
too.
Yeah.
The head on the weight machine with the
yeah,
bar.
Oh,
through the
right,
middle.
yeah.
through the head.
Ooh man, that was
And it-
some cantaloupe action.
I'm telling you,
yeah.
these effects are kind of cool. Yeah, they actually show that thing going through their fake skull.
My mouth, I was catching flies the whole time, just jaw dropped, especially hitting things like this. It was so brutal.
Yeah,
Yeah. So then he takes on Wanda and just burns her ass on the sauna heater. Just sits her down on it.
right, and then right.
His line there is, "Let this be a lesson to you, hot ass."
Hot ass.
And we get our
Touche.
Yeah, his voice may have dropped, but he's still not very smooth.
we get our first look at Melvin's face at 48 minutes and 33 seconds.
I was glad you wrote the time.
That's a
down.
thing, like waiting to reveal the superhero.
Yeah.
I guess
Phantom of the
everyone sticks
Opera
to that.
kind of.
Yeah, Phantom of the
yeah,
Opera, that's
like
a
a
good-
slow reveal.
Mhm.
So then there's a scene where he takes down a ring of men who are pimping out underage sex slaves.
We see him first urinating green slime in the alley.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
With the no urinating sign, right?
With the
Wasn't
no
there like
Well, there
a-
are times.
no
there's special-
pissing.
Oh, yeah, that's
from
right.
2:30 to
There were 3 days of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday,
Right.
between like 8:30 and
Yeah.
8:30 a.m. and 11:45.
That's common in a big city.
PM.
It's like changing your car when it snows and they have
Right.
to.
Yeah,
there was a
move to the
cloudy
other side of the street. Yeah.
cool dry ice fogger effect with
Yeah.
his pee too. I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
they
Oh,
definitely
right.
laid it on
It's
thick with the peeing
radioactive.
and
the pimp
Alaric.
limo.
Radioactive.
So the pimp limo rolls up.
Yep.
Yeah, the pimpmobile rolls up. They jump out and ask if he wants a good time.
Yeah.
She says, "This isn't a David Bowie concert."
You said, yeah, go ahead, Al.
You said you were taking me to a David Bowie concert. He's not David Bowie.
None of you are David Bowie.
Well, and he is clearly not a normal John.
No,
He is a monster.
Oh, right.
Not that I'm
Yeah.
saying that's like safe for child prostitution or anything, but holy crap, you wouldn't, even if you were the pimp, you wouldn't want to stop the car.
Yeah, no, I'd probably be like, "Let's try the next guy."
Yeah, he's like
Yeah.
gray slime trash man, even if you don't know that he
Hey,
has
they like to party
superpowers.
too.
It's true.
Freaky
It was the
deakies need
80s.
love too.
Yeah. Then we've got a montage where he saves 2 kids from being run over by Bozo and Slug, as well as various other residents of Tromaville.
Those kids are the
And-
fan club, right?
And we've got the instrumental version of Body Talk playing
Yes.
over the montage scene.
Yes.
Right, when the Orville Redenbacher product placement.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was great. The mom, the woman in her kitchen, she can't get her popcorn jar open,
Right.
And he just peeks. He knocks on the window
on the window, like if there's a pie on
grabs
the
it
windowsill.
and opens it. And meanwhile, he's popped all the popcorn in the jar.
Right.
It was-
Just as radioactive as a microwave.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So wait, was his superheroes montage before their like lovers?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, it's just like Superman's first night. You
Right.
know, like they're saving the cat, getting this guy.
Yeah,
you know,
it's the same basic plot.
yeah, exactly. Or device. Yeah.
Yeah. The city populace begins to see him as a hero. Then, as Melvin gives aid to the people of the city, Mayor Bellgoody is horrified of what has become of his goons.
Yeah, why didn't Cigar Face change his name to Bandaged Face at that point? Like, why wouldn't it be updated?
He's worried that it will lead back to him, and he wants Melvin to be taken care of. A group of men, led by Cigar Face, surround Melvin with guns. Just before they fire on him, he leaps up to a fire escape so that they end up shooting each other. And while up there, gives him the finger.
Yep. The bird.
Meanwhile, Sarah is being accosted by a group of bikers, and she calls for her boyfriend to save her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for my boyfriend.
Yeah, Melvin shows up.
Hey, first of all, that blind woman does excellent makeup.
Yeah,
Her eye makeup was fantastic.
yeah, no.
Not just for a blind lady, for anybody. All right. So yes, sir.
Yeah, so Melvin shows up and takes care of the situation. They go on a date and make love.
Well, then doesn't she first do the Laura Dern from Mask?
Yeah, the
thing?
touching of
the
his
touching of
face.
the face.
You're
You're beautiful, Melvin.
Rocky. Yeah.
He's like, I'm grotesque. Raw.
So not only is she blind, she has no sensation in her fingers either.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Right.
The dude is radioactive, by
He's
the way.
radioactive.
He's
Oh, yeah.
like
Yeah.
not a person that you want to have sex with.
No, that
No,
that
was
piss.
Like,
Ooh.
if we're talking more
He needs-
protection, we're talking a lead vest.
Yeah.
You know,
he could
like-
use some penicillin probably. Just-
But
Yeah.
it's been 2 years since she's been with a man.
so
since she's touched a man.
whatever.
That's,
No, it hasn't.
that's not just a burning desire. That's
It's
actual
been a
burning.
matter of days. I don't mean to laugh.
Oh, God.
But she was with the man at the taco place.
Yeah. Then in a montage, they have breakfast, move in together, dance, and hula hoop.
They hit every base in the grotesque superhero blind girlfriend trope.
Yeah, all those old chestnuts. There.
Like, I'm going to feed him a bunch of eggs. I'm blind and
So
I
many-
cook, but I
And
don't cook
eggshells.
well. Yeah, like
So many eggs.
They showed the post-coil cigarette.
yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was one of
Oh,
the
yeah.
funniest shots
that was
in
in
the whole
cartoons. That was
Yeah.
in movies. That was like
The point-
I thought it was a part of sex, right? Until I
Yeah.
reached
I
a certain
thought you
age.
had to
you
smoke
had to
after
smoke
sex.
after. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah,
Uh,
You don't have to smoke after sex?
yeah. I thought that's how.
Oh.
But their montage.
that's
was
how you
fun.
got addicted to crack.
So she moves into the toxic dump house.
It's-
Yeah, instead
like
of
it.
him into her
Yeah,
apartment.
yeah. She moves it.
She
Like,
moves to his.
he has
place.
all her canes there. And
Yeah.
like makes like
Yeah.
And they put up a picture of her dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Callback.
she's blind.
Yes.
Indeed.
What about her sense of smell?
Yeah.
Because
she's blind.
She
Has
lives
no
at the
sensation.
dump.
She has no sensation in her fingers. She has no sense of smell.
like,
does makeup.
It turns out she's pretty hard of hearing.
yeah, she
Yeah,
can't.
that's true.
She's
at times.
essentially Helen Keller.
Yeah.
The sense of smell thing, though, I just kept thinking they're at the dump,
Yeah.
and he is covered in trash. He is human trash.
Well, okay, so maybe it
like
just
rotten.
smells like that in Tromaville.
yeah, it's true. It's New Jersey.
I was
right?
one time
So,
in a
I mean,
town in Arkansas that I asked some guy working at the movie theater. I'm like, "Oh, did like a sewage main break around here?" And he was like, "What do you mean?"
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, if you've ever been to the
And I was
Salton
like,
Sea in
okay.
California,
Yeah, it may just
Yeah.
smell that way.
it's just
"Yeah, it was a terrible smelling town."
So Toxie later returns to the club, pursues Julie into the basement, and cuts off her hair.
So I was reading about
That's intense.
and they don't explicitly show him cut her hair off. They show the scissors and the shadow in like a Hitchcock
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
psycho way. There was a deleted scene, supposedly. I don't know. I didn't go to look for it or anything, of the two women, because of course we don't want our hero murdering women.
Right.
Burns hot ass and
Mhm.
cuts the other girl's hair, and they're both like fighting with each other in the jail, I guess, later on.
Okay.
And it didn't make it to the final copy, but I was like, that would have been cool, you know? And
Yeah.
I would have.
Yeah.
I think it would have passed the That would have made it past the Bechdel test.
Yeah.
Not to keep being on about that, but
Yeah.
these women do have fully fleshed out characters. It's just disgusting what
yeah.
they
Yeah,
are.
well, no. Didn't it pass the Bechdel test?
Yeah, earlier.
They talk to each other about
Yeah.
murder.
And they have names. I forgot to
Yeah,
mention.
Julie
Yeah.
and
Julie and
Wanda.
Wanda, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he then confronts Bozo and Slug.
Oh, Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
Marissa
boom! You just
Tomei.
shot it off like that.
Yeah.
No setup. Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you think she
Um,
likes short, stocky, bald men?
Yeah. Exactly.
So she comes out of the shower wrapped in a towel
Uh-huh.
and sees Melvin attacking Julie and screams.
Right.
Yes. In an uncredited role, Oscar winner Marissa Tomei
Yep.
appears in The Toxic Avenger.
She was 20 years old. Yeah.
And he kind of freaks out because she's not evil or something. He's like, "Oh shit! Someone saw my guys.
Yeah, I think
I
he,
should,
yeah.
Yeah.
I should hide my face.
It was
I'm
the
disgusting."
shame.
Yeah, it was weird. And she ran away, and he like just let Julie run away,
Yeah.
But then chases after
and then
her.
chases
Yeah.
after her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just this weird like chase in the basement horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
He pops out of the
Yeah.
elevator.
Oh, yeah.
What is that dungeon
and-
basement?
No, yeah, well, exactly. But then at that
But
point,
there's an easy chair and a toilet. next
at
to
that
each other.
point, we kind of change point of view and stop being in his and go into Julie's as
Yeah.
she becomes like the quintessential blonde being chased by a monster through the
Right.
dark.
Screaming down a hallway.
Yeah.
You had to figure that in.
She hides in a sex dungeon. I on second watch, not just any sex dungeon. There's a dead body in there. There's a
What?
skeleton.
I did not
Wow.
notice
in
that.
the sex dungeon. She's hiding in a room where somebody has already
Yeah.
been murdered.
So this health club is like clearly hostile, right? Yeah. You go downstairs and it's just
It's
Yeah.
like the
It's
Overlook
F-
Hotel or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like there's a health club above this room.
Okay, then he confronts Bozo and Slug after they brutally beat an old lady and steal her car.
Because Julie didn't show up
Yeah,
with the car.
and she was stressing him out.
Yeah.
I just gotta go. I just gotta hit people with my fucking car,
I'm
man.
a stressed person. I think there was a Popeye's chicken.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were some Popeyes
Yeah,
pop-ups.
Some more.
Oh, did they have it at the picnic also?
maybe
Were they picnicking with Popeyes?
They might have. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I don't recall.
Yeah.
Second Popeyes movie.
They try to run down Toxie. He jumps on top, holds Slug and throws him out of the moving car, and Bozo drives off the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
Toxie gets up and walks away from the crash
Well,
unharmed.
Laughs in slow motion too, which was really kind of spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't the car blow up?
Yeah, the car definitely
Yeah,
blew
the
up.
car blew
So if you look at the shot before it kind of comes in, like it's just a rundown parking lot and sort of a back. Like they did not get any permits or licenses to do
Yeah,
pyrotechnics. Like
no.
they just set that car on fire in a vacant lot
Right.
that they found.
Yeah, safety standards were not met.
No.
And Melvin is supposedly still in the car.
Oh right.
And it's fully engulfed in flames. It's not till the car completely burns out that Melvin emerges seemingly unscathed.
Right.
A little loosey-goosey.
Well, and
Sure.
Bozo's not in
Well,
the worst
he
shape.
brushes
too, for
off.
being
It'll take the
burned
wind
to
out of
death.
you.
He brushes some soot off himself. And
Right.
Yeah.
And does the funniest little shake dance. Oh, if you
Oh,
guys haven't
God.
seen it,
Yeah.
it's the funniest thing. He just shakes his little hands,
Yeah.
his little feet. He's shaking the dust off.
Doing some improv
It's
warm-ups.
kind of a cute thing. I don't know. It was weird. It was an endearing moment.
Yeah.
Not a lot of those in this movie.
No.
Not too many.
No. Then Melvin kills a seemingly innocent old woman in a dry cleaning store.
Yeah.
Makes a racist
She was
quip.
she was a cool character.
Yeah.
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 She was, yeah.
And
Good
no ticky, no washy. So
Yep.
what's he getting
Yeah.
at there? No ticket, no wash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
During the
It felt
the
wrong.
1840s, the gold rush and
Yeah.
stuff, the Chinese mainly ran laundries,
Yes.
and especially on the East Coast.
Sorry to have us go in and explain this for me.
No.
There are some things where I'm like, this seems racist, but I
Mhm.
don't know how.
Right, exactly. It just rings that way.
Yeah. It's
It
clearly,
is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, clearly racist.
It is racist.
Yeah.
But recall that Lloyd Kaufman majored in Chinese studies.
Putting
Oh.
that degree to
So,
use.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's
Yeah,
our one
he-
China
well, he
reference
wouldn't-
in the
yeah.
whole movie.
He knows exactly
guess.
how to
It
pronounce
was weird.
those words. Yeah.
Well, and this lady was. Did they show her doing anything evil prior
No,
to
no, no,
this?
no.
no,
they did
she's the
not.
first one that's not evil.
Well,
Well, no, she's evil.
She is evil.
We
It
just
turns
don't-
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but nobody
determined that
else
she's
knows.
evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this German-ish Viennese sausage of a scientist was explaining that his brain changed. We forgot to mention this, and he now has to kill bad people.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's an instinct that
It's an
commands him to destroy evil.
He
Right.
must do this now,
And he figured all that out without even an article from Lois Lane.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, she's evil. This little old lady here.
Yeah.
I'm going to wash and then press her.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so weird. It was just such a weird there was a lot there to have to figure out.
Yeah, right down to the owner of this laundry is getting a ticket for his
ticket?
car parked in front. It's like,
No,
don't
I
you
have
come
to
here
go
every
to a-
day?
He says, I have to go to a funeral. And I'm like,
What?
whose funeral?
You own
Right?
this
Like,
laundry. Yeah, your car should be here.
Was it one of the guys that the Toxic Avenger killed earlier in the movie? Because are you a bad guy? You just related to one?
Oh,
Not to look
where
too
did we
deep
see,
into that.
Where did we see
scene.
the Richard Nixon book?
Oh,
It was right after this as Melvin is returning home. Six Crises
Yeah, Six
is
Crises
in the toxic
by
waste
Richard M.
Right.
Nixon.
outside his house.
did anybody
Ooh, I'm
catch the other
provocative.
trash? There was another thing of trash since we're already at the toxic waste.
Uh-huh.
An Osmonds record.
Oh.
Deep
cut.
Which, I was like,
Ooh.
ooh, wow.
Yeah. So he returns back to the junkyard where he tells Sarah that he's terrified of what he's become, and they decide to move away from the city.
So he doesn't just return back to the junkyard. His girlfriend is blind.
Yes.
And he sneaks up on her and terrifies the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Sarah, it's just me. And she's like, you are so sweet. No, fuck you, man.
Yeah,
That's
Right.
jacked
I
up.
don't
Terrified
sneak up on a blind.
Yeah, don't do that to your partner if they got some disability. That's messed up, man.
She did have some
So-
great moments that reminded me of Gene Hackman from Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. No,
I could be wrong.
Gonna make
Oh,
espresso. No, go
So-
ahead. Yeah, you.
I could be wrong, but I feel like this was the first time we hear her name being Sarah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Possibly.
Yeah, honestly, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So the mayor uses the death of the little old lady as an excuse to hunt down the monster, even though it turns out the little old lady was a terrible criminal.
Yeah, the mother of some bad guys, right?
Oh, she also ran a white slavery.
Oh, right, white slavery.
Well, if
slavery.
it's white slavery, then
Yeah.
she is bad.
Exactly.
Ooh, can't do anything about that if it hits the news.
Yeah. The people of Tromaville are unhappy that the police and the mayor want to kill the monster.
Right, and the little German chief, his name is Himmel, rather than
subtle,
Himmler.
yeah.
Himmler.
Subtle.
But again, Mel Brooks, it's like you could sue her. Himmler.
Toxie and Sarah are discovered in the woods where they've been camping, and the mayor calls in the National Guard.
Weren't there two cops that were really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm missing the ball game for this bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're gonna make Captain by Midnight. Those guys.
Before this scene happens, we see O'Clancy in the ice cream parlor.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with the
The
kids.
Little Rascals
with
vibe.
the kids.
Cute kids.
So
man.
cute.
Such cute kids.
A few of them
All
were
of them with like
invested.
that ice cream and like
Just-
looking
yeah,
at
an
them,
ice cream
eating the ice
face.
cream.
Well, probably looking at somebody behind the camera going, look over here. Look
They're
over
gonna
here, look over
kill
here,
'em.
Look over here. Smile.
So it's them and the guy from the younger guy from the Mexican place.
Yeah.
Right.
all,
Yeah.
saying that they don't want the
gonna kill him,
monster
man.
the monster hero as they call him
Is this
in the papers and in the town.
Is this the Crusaders, sort of in their early
Well, they
Yeah, it might
the
be.
people that were
Oh, yeah.
behind Toxie, and you're like, he's
Yeah.
misunderstood.
the
I mean, he was always a man of the people.
Yeah,
the three
yeah, he's the Harvey Milk of
the three
these
children
guys.
were all credited as hero fan club.
Right? Yeah.
The actors were Britt, Kristen, and Lisa Martinson.
Right.
siblings.
So we saw a big block of Martinsons in the
Uh-huh.
in the credits at the end. So when I watched it a second time, I looked for the other Martinson, and it
And-
was Dick Martinson, who played Officer O'Clancy.
Oh,
Those are his
kids. Those are his
That's why
kids.
they're so
There
well
was
behaved in
chemistry.
that scene.
Yeah, there was chemistry.
That's so
It was
fucking
scintillating.
cute.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, we
so
got to this point
I
in the movie.
completely changed my whole opinion of this movie.
And I like.
I just
and
want it to be like a 6-pack type movie where they run the ice cream parlor.
Yeah.
We forget about the
This turned the whole thing around for me in a lot of ways. I was like, these kids are fucking cute.
They
Oh,
were.
this cop is having like this heart to heart with this other kid.
Right.
He tells him, what does he say to him? He's done more than the police have.
Yeah.
Because he's also got a shitty Irish accent too. Like, yeah.
Right.
Us
No
Irishmen
offense.
have to stick together, you know?
So the National Guard.
Yeah. So they're in the woods. National Guard does not want to kill him. The mayor does plan to.
Well, the National Guard is not the only people that showed up. There's a bunch of dudes in jean shorts too,
Right.
holding
Yeah.
holding shotguns.
Yeah, I don't know who they were.
They're like George Posse. Yeah. Assemble.
Well, and the National Guard brings a
There are
couple
dozens of us.
tanks.
Yeah.
Which goes to show that Troma had some interesting access to like military
That's
vehicles
what I'm
and
talking
stuff.
about.
Yeah.
$500,000.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah. Where did? Yeah.
Who did they pay for those tanks?
Exactly.
I would think that much money we would go to the makeup and effects guy alone. But yeah,
Yeah,
blowing
we need
things
some
up.
tanks to
They
point
got
at the
their-
tent.
They really got their $500,000 worth.
Yeah,
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
But the people of Tromaville,
because he minored in directing disgusting films.
Not accounting, obviously.
Yeah, not that.
the people of Tromaville will have none of it. They rush to the campsite alongside the National Guard. The mayor shows up armed and insists on killing him, even though the people beg him not to.
I'll give you 10%
They-
of what?
Of what? Yeah.
they form a line in front of Toxie to protect him from the mayor.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
So that's happened before,
and
right?
his-
Oh,
his
Monster
mom
Squad
is
Harry
involved?
Manson? Yeah,
His mom is in the line.
his mom showed
Yeah.
up.
If you
yeah.
want to shoot my son, you'll have to shoot me first.
Well, all of a sudden, it's some sort of outdoor music festival.
Yeah.
Everyone's there.
Everyone's there.
Yeah.
There were
You
some,
might get shot. No,
there were
I'm
some
going.
funny shots of townspeople with guns pointed at the back of other townspeople.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where I was
That's
like,
what I'm
what's
talking
going
about.
on with this?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
what are
and
they
you know
doing
those
here?
weren't fake guns.
No,
They were
they
just
were
like,
not.
Have you got a gun? Come on
You
down.
know, they just put like an
Yeah.
ad in the paper.
Like a
Bring
def-
your gun down to the park. We're shooting a scene.
Yeah, a lot of people turned
Yeah.
out.
So no one will fire on him, and then the mayor finally does shoot, but the bullets bounce off him.
Right.
Toxie approaches Belgoody. The mayor's evil ways are revealed.
Yeah.
And I mean, kind of almost a little too subtly. Like he
Right.
didn't really like confess.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because he's got that sixth sense of you're clearly evil and
Yeah,
I'm
but-
going to brutally murder you now.
But the townspeople,
Yeah, it is a
without like a
power.
full confession, like are just okay with him murdering the mayor.
Yeah, true. They're like, he was a dick anyways.
And Melvin's line right before he pulls his guts out is, "You fat slob, let's see if you have any guts."
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yes.
The crowd actually looks horrified at first.
Yes.
And the mayor tries to
Appropriately.
stuff his
Guts
guts back
back
into
in.
his
Yeah.
His
belly.
chicken, his raw chicken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get it back. Yeah.
That was the cheapest
Like
stunt
he-
that they've done in the
the
whole movie.
bayonet.
Yeah. But then everyone cheers Toxie and Sarah as they
Well,
kiss.
they cheer after
Yeah.
they find each other like 20 feet away from
Sarah!
Melvin!
Sarah!
And then the camera just comes out a little bit and it's like they're right there. And
Yeah.
then everyone's
Right
like,
next to each
"Yay."
other.
I was like, this blonde girl's done more impressive things than that.
Right. The
But
movie.
she tripped over nothing.
Right.
Because she's like, just waving her arms around, trying to
Melvin.
hoping to touch Melvin. Next to her. Yeah. it was
Are
bad.
we at a music festival?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Is that the bare naked ladies?
Yeah, exactly.
The movie ends with a reassurance that the Toxic Avenger will continue to combat crime in Tromaville.
And as we've discussed,
What's the last?
the only mention of the name Toxic Avenger
Yes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
then yeah,
was right here.
and he does
narrated.
avenge. I mean, it's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's better than Captain Avenger, who was preventing things rather than
Yeah,
avenging.
avenging. Yeah.
But I wrote down cool last shot. What do you think I meant by that?
Oh, that grainy orange shot, that classic shot of him looking like one of the Planet of the Apes apes. you know?
Yeah.
Oh, right, and
Yeah.
with the sunset behind, or the
Where he's got his hands pointed down at the ground. That's
oh,
all.
and that's
how
that's
yeah.
their logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The house.
That's
that
what I
Toxic
meant.
Because
built.
I thought that too. I was like, wow, man, that sepia toned silhouette is
Yeah.
something.
There was.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was the end of their epic.
They really leaned into that one.
They leaned
Did-
way in.
Did I hear somebody ask about the body count?
Oh,
Body
no, but
count.
what's the body
Let
let
count?
me hear your
Listen,
body
body
count.
Okay. 18 that's
Wow, jumped.
that Melvin. Yeah, it did jump. 18 that Melvin had a hand in killing.
Okay.
20,
So wait, are you trying to
21
see
total.
what cases will stick with the DA?
Okay. Well, so there were the 6 guys that were
No
surrounding
statute of
him.
limitations on murder. So
There were the 6 guys that were surrounding him with guns, and that when he jumped up, they all shot each other.
Okay.
So
yeah,
he had,
yeah.
I
he had
think
a hand in
That's
the
a manslaughter,
Gotcha.
if anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Ah.
he didn't. All he did
That was
was
self-defense.
move.
that
Jump
was
out of the way. Right.
self-defense.
He would go to trial if
Yeah.
So unless
But
I
I-
missed any, I think we've got 21.
21.
Not as bloody.
22 if you count the dead body that was in the basement of the
Right. Will somebody count him?
Yeah.
We've discovered that one.
Right.
Not as
Nobody
bloody.
else did.
Not as bloody as I would have thought.
It
going
seemed like
in.
there was a
Yeah.
lot more.
Yeah.
What was the body count on Swamp Thing? Anybody remember?
I don't
I
know,
don't
like
remember.
3,
Yeah,
4.
a couple
Um,
of swamp
pocket snakes,
soldiers,
though.
swamp militia dudes.
So I was watching the credits, trying to, see funny names, like it's fun to do. I just saw Wigs by It's a Wig. Why would you even name your wig store that?
I can't
I
believe
thought
it's a
for
wig.
discretion. Yeah.
You're shitting me. It ain't butter.
Nobody said this was ham. Yeah. I can't believe it's.
I can't believe it's not Agent Orange.
Yeah.
So
Well, it is, yeah.
yeah. So
Toxic.
there was some stuff in the movie. It was there were some good parts.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There was some stuff that was not so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had an interesting punk rock sensibility to it. It was
Oh, yeah.
It was very
Yeah.
kind of DIY in a fun way, but yeah.
The Looney Tunes type jokes landed pretty well, even though they were like groaners. The political stuff, again, pretty heavy handed. The Nixon book, right? Just
Yeah,
like-
in the
Yeah.
toxic slime.
But
yeah.
like, it's not confusing.
No.
I guess that's my best compliment.
Yeah.
Like they get their point across.
No. And you know what? And it's a very clear narrative.
That's
A
true.
Clear, like through line. Like
Beginning, middle, end. Yeah.
this was a better structured film than Supergirl, Superman 3.
Yes, where
like-
Superman's the B story. That
Yeah,
hardly.
like-
yeah, you're right.
No, I mean, like they had a story and they told it clearly.
Well,
and-
it took like 4 people, right?
yeah.
It was based on a story by Lloyd Kaufman, then written by and then screenplay by like 2 other people.
Well, no, but yeah. But
Wow.
I think Lloyd Kaufman had a nom de plume on the screenplay, so one of them was
He
actually
did.
him again.
Gotcha.
That's
fantastic.
Like, I'm not going to put my name
Like
on
an Alan
this.
Smiley.
this
Yeah.
pile of shit.
I didn't know that, but I'm not surprised.
Samuel Wheel.
Who's that?
Yeah.
That was his nom.
Lloyd
that was his-
Kaufman.
Oh,
Lloyd
the nom de-
Kaufman.
Yeah.
Pen name.
Wait, what was it again?
Samuel Wheel.
I like that.
Weil.
Better than John Barron. That's our president's
Yeah.
alter ego, fake
Mhm.
identity.
You don't know that, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah, he probably has admitted it.
He named his-
All right.
No,
Let's
no,
not veer
wait,
off.
wait, wait, we
to
all-
veer off
we-
into that, though,
Yeah.
I love that he named his son after his alter ego.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's all I have to say about that.
He knows like 75 words. All right.
Okay, so all right, so yeah, so we still have to rank this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last.
So really,
For me, it's last.
is it worse than Condor Man?
It was so much less fun than Condor Man was for a superhero movie. It was a laborious thing for me. So my vote is last. I will lean somewhere else if need be. But
It was hard to watch. A lot of it was just abrasive.
It
Yeah.
was. It was very abrasive. It was cruel and abrasive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And pacing issues.
Pacing issues.
Pacing issues.
But those montages, no, those montages were great.
the montages were great, but just the hit and run scene and the Mexican place, the amount of time.
yeah.
Oh no! The
that
Mexican
those
food place.
scenes
Yeah.
went on.
No. They.
yeah, I'll wait.
Well, and it
That
was
was part
not a
of the
long
torture.
film to begin with. An hour
Correct,
20.
yeah.
Hour 20.
Oh,
They were filling time.
I mean, okay,
But
we've got.
that's secondary to the cruel abrasiveness.
yeah. I guess I'm with everybody.
I was
else.
thinking
And
about Condor
Yeah,
Man
even
today.
the few redeeming points in this movie don't redeem.
And I think the Condor Man was more fun. than
I
this
think
one.
so
Condor
too.
Man was more fun.
It's like Gopher Boy.
Yeah.
That would be Cigar Face's like mortal enemy.
Bring me papers.
All right, so we're sticking it right at the bottom then, guys.
That's my vote.
I think so.
Yeah,
think
and because it'll be fun to unseat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
going to
and
take a while to
It
get
will
to.
be unseated. All right.
There's also going to be 2, 3, and 4 of this. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
we're going to have to. Those might be in order. I don't know.
Yeah.
A little touch of Toxie
So-
in the night.
So sitting right down at the bottom at number 10 right now, our 10th. Hey, we made it through 10 of these things.
Wow, 10.
This is Toxic Avenger at number 10, right down at the bottom of the list, below Condor Man. So anybody who wants to hear, I'll round up. I'll do our top 10 because we're gonna very quickly get to too many to list off. We've got number 1, Superman 78, Batman 66, Swamp Thing, Superman 2, Superman 3, Supergirl, Superman and the Mole Man, Hero at Large, Condor Man, and Toxic Avenger at the bottom.
Let
That's a
us
weird
know what
list.
you think about Swamp Thing. Is it too high on our list? or
Yeah,
too
we
low?
have Swamp Thing's really high on
That's
this
going to make its way
list.
down. It was an interesting movie. I mean,
It was.
Seeing this made me think of it again.
In
I like
retrospect,
Wes
I
Craven,
don't
but
know
maybe
if it belongs above Superman 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah, because 3 is an entertaining movie.
Let's take it to committee.
All right.
I'll put it in official request.
All right.
Don't give it to that shady mayor.
Next week, we will see you all when we take on Howard the Duck.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think that about wraps it up for us this week. My name's Thoreau Smiley, and I will give you 6 new assholes.
My name is Josh Cicci, and I'm a blind makeup artist.
My name is Brian Lesh, and I'm going to go put my polka dot and tutu back on.
I'm Alaric Weber. It's my first day on the force, and I'm chasing monsters.
Hey, thanks. We'll see y'all next week. Bye. Hey, everybody. I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of our Patreon producers: Alyssa Dent, Hedda Paulson, Katie and Finn Thorpe, Kirsten Reed, Michael Beckworth, and Jojo Birchtree. You too can be a Harmless Phosphorescence producer. Just go to patreon.com/Harmless Phosphorescence and pledge $10 or more. Harmless Phosphorescence is a production of the Harmless Entertainment Network. Visit us at patreon.com/Harmless Entertainment for early and ad-free new episodes, bonus episodes, and so much more. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or Facebook to get the latest news, participate in polls, or just let us know what you think about the movies we're watching. You can also send us an email at harmlessentertainment@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and be sure to tune in next week.